All right, there's the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions, continuing our retro pay-per-view review series. Gonna be In Your House 10 Mind Games. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, man. Let's jump into this. There's a lot to cover in this one. This is actually a pretty good card on this one. September 22nd, 1996, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. For anybody that doesn't know at this point, this is the home of ECW. And why am I saying that? Well, because they're going to play a role in the opening match here in just a minute. Speaking of our opening match, this was actually signed um, on the free for all. It was Marty Jannetty versus Savio Vega, and Bradshaw had gotten involved in the match. So they announced that there would be a Caribbean strap match to open the card with Savio Vega
Yeah.
after actually already wrestling,
Another Caribbean strap match.
facing Justin Hawk Bradshaw with Zebekiah at ringside. And you had Vince McMahon, Mr. Perfect, and Jim Ross doing the commentating on this one. So let's jump into it. And what's funny is in this match, as they go to the ringside, I mean, watching it now, I know what to look for. And of course, at ringside, you see Tommy Dreamer and
Yep.
Sandman and Paulie Dangerously
Yeah.
sitting at ringside. And as soon as they go out there with the straps on, Sandman blows the beer in Savio's face, and here comes Dreamer and Sandman getting involved, dangerously holding them back, and of course Ross talking about how there's a local, or Vince rather, I think said it, there's a local wrestling company
Right.
here trying to make a name for himself. Well, we already know that Vince and Dangerously had struck a deal with this.
Well, yeah, now
But
we know, but at the time we didn't. We
yeah,
weren't
with the
aware
time
of
we didn't know. I actually thought it was like a little bit of invasion. I'm going to be honest. In 1996, I couldn't stand ECW. I thought it was
it.
garbage. They put it on at 2 o'clock in the morning on, I think, MTV
MSG.
channel.
It was MSG.
Oh, it was MSG?
Yeah.
See, that's how much I know because I didn't watch it. A friend of mine fell in love with it and would always watch it. And it took me a while till it was on the network to actually watch it, and I thought it was pretty good. But back at the time, I was like, "This is you got to be kidding me!"
Well,
This is
Jerry Lawler used to call it extremely crappy wrestling.
exactly. And they actually put him in a group there with Sabu and Rob Van
Yeah.
Dam and Bill Alfonso going up against Taz and the rest of them.
They did a pretty good job making this look like it wasn't that it was real, that they weren't supposed to be there. They just kind of showed up. Apparently they kept a lot of people in the dark. Most people backstage didn't even know what was going on, so they thought it was they thought they didn't want to get any leaks out. I mean, it's kind of obvious on one hand, but I thought they actually did a pretty good job.
I was hoping at the time that they kept Rob Van Dam because he was really the only one besides Taz that I liked
Yeah.
and that could actually wrestle. Because Taz, when he comes in, gets buried. But at the time, Rob Van Dam's telling us that he's all Mr. Monday Night, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is cool.
Yeah, the ECW chance too.
Yeah, well, again in
Obviously in Philly,
Philadelphia,
yeah, yeah.
even still to this day, you're gonna get those chants. I mean, it's just
Hmm.
iconic there. And not too long ago, they were back in Philadelphia, and Paul Heyman had made the comments and
Yeah.
trying to get the boos, but the fans are still cheering him
Hmm.
and bowing to him because he's a legend in
Hmm.
Philadelphia. So the match was pretty good. It's one of those typical, okay, I hit the buckle, I'm dragging you, you hit the buckle, and then as Bradshaw pulls him, Savio hits the fourth one, and Savio Vega wins the Caribbean strap match as usual, never losing one. And so Savio gets the victory in this one. After this match, though, was one of the best promos they did. Brian Pillman came out. Now he had guaranteed to the fans that Bret Hart would be in Philadelphia for In Your House. On a South African tour, Bret Hart had made the comments that Brian Pillman is a liar. So is Owen Hart. And at this point, I was thinking, oh God, please let's not start this Owen Hart, Bret Hart thing again
Again, yeah.
because we're going on 3 years here.
Hmm.
And Owen comes out with Pillman, and he's like, "Oh, I thought we were getting along. He recognized that I'm the best, and he's second. He's getting slow. He should retire, and all this nonsense." And then they bring out Steve Austin, who right now is making the multiple challenges to Bret,
Hmm.
starting the promos, which was great. The one thing he said here, I love. If you put the S in front of
Yeah.
Hitman, you get my
Yeah.
feeling towards and then Vince is like, "Oh, come on
Yeah.
now."
That was great. So that always sticks out. I always remember that line. It was such a great.
Yes.
It was such a classic line. It was great, man.
This
Stone
was an
Cold.
awesome build up to an awesome feud
Hmm.
from Survivor Series through 1997. I loved it between
Yeah.
these two.
Hmm.
They brought the best out in each other. Brett helped Austin along. I mean, it was just great stuff. And this promo here was just amazing with the three of them. I still wish that Austin would have stun bolted them, but that's coming
Yeah.
later.
It was well done. Before
Yeah.
this, they had fake Diesel and Razor jump Safio Vega, but you didn't really see them.
Yeah,
And they,
you think that it's actually Razor and Diesel, though you
well, I
know it's
didn't. Well,
not.
I didn't,
I didn't
but
either.
yeah.
There's
So
no way they were coming back. And just not to get off the topic, but as a result of this, when they announced that they were coming back, Eric Bischoff got so nervous
that's according
that
to
they were
Kevin
gonna
Nash. That's according to Kevin Nash. Bischoff said it's not true.
that he offered them brand new
Bischoff said it's
contracts.
not true. I believe Bischoff. I don't believe that story for 1 second. That they didn't. Oh, they didn't know they were under contract. They can't just leave and just show up. That
Exactly.
would have been a lawsuit.
It was
So
just like I don't know.
yeah.
I thought when I first heard it, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I
I'm
don't.
like,
I
Bischoff's
don't.
not that stupid.
I don't believe that story for 1 second. But,
It's Kevin Nash.
yeah.
In any event, our next match was for the tag. Oh, I'm sorry. We had one garbage match to follow, which was less than a minute. It was Jose Lothario
Oh God,
versus James E. Cornet.
this was such trash. I think what happened was that Jim Cornette wasn't in. Jim Cornette had bad knees from his time over in WCW. He
All
blew
those
his knees out.
scaffolding matches he had in the '80s, and he
Yeah.
had blown
So I
both
don't
of his
think.
knees out in one of them.
Yeah. So they had to do like a squash match. This originally was supposed to be Shawn and Jose Lothario versus Vader and
Cornet.
Cornette.
I'm glad
Yeah.
we didn't get it.
They ended up changing. Thank God.
I'm
Thank
glad we got
God.
the main event we
Right,
got.
right, right, right. Yeah. So this was garbage. This is garbage.
56 seconds. Lothario just
Yeah.
throwing a bunch of. I mean, he's a 62-year-old man. What do you want him to
Yeah,
do?
I know.
Hurt Haranas? I mean, come on.
It's like,
He
no.
he comes out and of course Cornette comes out to Vader's music. Cornette's coming out
Lothario comes
Lothario to
up to
Shawn
Shawn
Michaels. He's
Michaels.
got the jacket on. I mean, it was funny to see that, but Lothario beat the crap out of him, gets the
Yeah.
pin. It's over. Now, what's funny is Cornette's laying down on the table, and Clarence Mason's getting him to sign some documents, and Ross is like, "Who is he suing somebody again?" And pretty
And it
much
was to
Cornette got
sign over.
screwed out. Yeah,
Yeah, the
because now
rights.
he's managing Crush, who just returned, and now he pretty much screwed Cornette over, and now he's got Owen and Bulldog.
Yeah, Crush
And
was supposed to be on this. I think this was Crush. Who was Crush supposed to fight this night? Was the Stalker there yet? Was Barry Windham there? Or he was gone?
no, he left after Survivor Series. So yeah,
Of this year. He was
he
still
should have
there?
been. Yeah,
I think Crush was supposed to fight this. I could be wrong, but I think he was supposed to fight him this night.
we're
Yeah.
not missing anything.
Yeah. And, interesting side note in regards to Bulldog. I forgot to mention this on the last one. I had remembered. Bulldog was supposed to fight Ultimate Warrior I'm sorry, at SummerSlam. That was supposed to be the match. After that, In Your House.
I would have loved to see it.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. But of course, Warrior got suspended, fired, whatever story you want to believe. So
Exactly. It is what it is at this point. But now we had for the tag team championships and it was weird to have two heel teams facing each other. The Smoking Guns defending the tag titles with of course Sonny at ringside, facing Owen Hart and the British Bulldog.
yeah.
And now
Then they,
Clarence Mason's coming down.
then they had that the Sunny picture that they
Sonny
claimed
picture came down, yeah, and they drew all over it.
they claimed that Bulldog and Owen had vandalized the Sunny.
And
Whatever.
whatever, exactly. And she's all upset and whatnot. Really
Well,
cares
she was
at this
remember she
point?
was flirting with Billy Gunn on the way out to the ring, and Bart is
Oh my
like, "Come on,
God.
get it, hurry up, like get your head together."
You could tell something was going to go down in here.
Mhm.
And I mean, it wasn't a bad match. It was pretty good.
No, it was fine. It's fine.
The ending was, typical. They push. Billy pushes Bart into the Bulldog after Bart ran into him. Bulldog then with the power slam and the pin. The Owen and Bulldog are
Yeah.
now the tag team champions. And of course, what is Sonny going to do? You're fired.
Yep. See ya.
So I don't I know on the next In Your House the Smoking Guns get a rematch. Whether or not she's in the corner, I'm not 100% sure. When we watch and review it, I'll
Yeah.
let everybody know. But she's jumping tag teams left and right, and obviously now she ain't going.
She
with
likes
Owen and
winners,
Bulldog.
man. She likes winners. She's doing what she got to do.
Yeah, well, the next team we'll see her in a couple of years. It will be Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
That didn't
Unfortunately.
help her.
Yeah.
Exactly. Following this match, Kevin Kelly had interviewed Paul Bearer and Mankind for their getting ready for his championship match later on in the evening. And then our next match, it was Mark Henry making his debut,
Yeah.
who really didn't know how to wrestle in this.
He
one.
wasn't ready, man. He wasn't
No, he
ready.
wasn't.
It's not his fault. They just shoved him out there. They should have given him time to.
Exactly. He wasn't, and of course, going up against Lawler didn't make it any better.
And Lawler was like saying how he's gonna teach him how to wrestle. He didn't know how to wrestle, so it was kind of true at the same time.
Exactly.
but
And,
it's not his fault.
and they showed on the free for all how Lawler slapped Mark Henry,
Right, right,
and that's
right,
pretty
right.
much where the match got signed. Um, I mean, it was like a 5 minute match. Mark Henry gets Lawler to submit with a backbreaker.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not Henry's
it's
fault.
not his fault, but yeah, he needed another few months
Yeah.
before he could come out
Then
and do this.
I didn't understand that the new Rockers come out to get their asses whipped. When
Exactly, I
Triple
didn't
H came, I
understand
was like,
that.
what's the point of this?
Why is
Like,
Helmsley and the Rockers out
they're
there?
like, well, everybody wants a piece of him, because he's coming in as an Olympian or whatever. But I mean,
It
okay,
make no sense
that was
whatsoever
stupid.
for the three of them to show up.
The new Rockers. Oh
Yeah,
Jesus.
and then Helmsley's got
Right. But
no interest in this.
I guess that's a little bit more of the punishment. Like, hey, you're gonna go get beat up.
Who knows if it's
I
still
don't know.
going on? It probably is at this
I
point.
also think this is Kevin Kelly's debut, right? I think it's
Mhm.
his debut, at least his pay-per-view debut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't do too bad.
Yeah, he was all right. He was all right.
So our next match was a final curtain match, whatever that means,
Again with this the feud that nobody asked for.
and nobody wanted.
Right.
Because you notice this on the major pay per views, Undertaker's facing Mankind. On the In Your
In
House, he's
between,
facing
yeah,
Goldust.
and in
In
between,
between,
and then apparently Goldust was the mastermind behind that whole thing with Mankind and Paul Bearer. He was is that the story?
that's what they're saying, but I don't
I was
believe
like, that
it.
doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know.
But I thought this was funny. Major pay per views, I'll take on Mankind. Every
Right,
other thing, we'll have different opponents,
right,
which is insane. And then we'll interfere in each other's matches during those matches.
right, right. No.
And what's funny is during this Goldust match, they had already announced that at the next In Your House, they would have the Buried Alive match, which is non-sanctioned. So they did
Yeah,
say
they
if
already
Mankind won the title, it would not be on the line.
right. Yeah, and they had already. I thought it was weird how they already announced a match between Undertaker and Mankind. Because so it's like basically like this is just a filler. We're just killing some time here. This isn't going anywhere with Goldust and Undertaker.
This is going to be building more for
Yeah.
Mankind and
I
Taker.
thought
Let it
yeah.
intensify even more.
I thought the match was all right. I always enjoyed seeing at that time with Undertaker start throwing punches because he had just kind of started doing that, I think, at the King of the Ring when he fought Mankind, because it was King of the Ring, right? When he just had enough of him and he just started
Yeah, he
throwing
just
those.
started beating the crap out of
Yeah.
him.
So I enjoyed it.
Taker was changing his character now.
Remember he had Goldust in the corner and he was throwing the body shots. It was that was cool.
Hmm.
I enjoyed that spot. The
Oh
match was
yeah,
all right. I just was done with this feud. I didn't.
yeah. The feud didn't make any sense, but the two of them wrestling each other was pretty good.
Yeah, this was better than I think
The original.
than the last one. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Undertaker gets the victory in this one, obviously with the tombstone for the pin. And yeah, so now this feud is over with. They've already announced the next one. So the only thing that took away for the main event now with them doing this is saying that the title wouldn't be on the line if Mankind won it. Well, now you know he's not winning it.
You know he's not winning it.
So you just took away from the main event now, because when they interviewed Shawn Michaels, Shawn said, the guy's whacked out of his mind. I'll be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. I'm just gonna have to go out there and do everything I can to beat this
Yeah.
fool.
Sean
And
also looked
pretty,
like he didn't want to be there. I got the impression through that promo that he looked like he was like
yeah.
in a
Well, by
bad
this
mood.
point, they're getting killed in the ratings.
He was burning
They're
out. He's the
blaming
champion.
him, and you can't blame him.
No, it wasn't his
But
fault.
because he's on top of the mountain,
That's how
you
it
have
goes. It's like in a sport, the best player is always going to get blamed. So Sean was
exactly.
the guy at the time, so he was going to take the heat for, so
Yeah, and you could start, and going forward, you'll start seeing it, the attitude in him coming out. So now we go on to the main event for the WWE Championship, and Shawn Michaels defending it against Mankind. And what's funny is they bring out the
the
casket,
casket, yeah,
which they're saying this is not a casket match.
right, but it's there.
I'm going to tell you this right now. This was the best, besides Shawn winning the title at WrestleMania 12. This was the best match besides that he did in 1996.
Yeah, some people think this is the best match.
It could
There's
very
an
well
argument. There's an argument
exactly.
to be made. Mankind comes out of the casket, right? He pops out.
Yeah, Paul Bearer is just coming down by himself. So here
And
comes
he had the
Mankind in
urn.
the casket.
Paul Bearer
Yeah.
had the urn. Somehow Mankind was drawing power from the urn too, which I was like, Undertaker draws power from.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
And you see Mankind's getting all nervous and scared and stuff when Shawn's coming out because he's not used to the huge pop.
No, I think he trips too going in the ring over the pyro.
I
The
believe
pyro
so.
didn't go off, but it was there. It was laid out.
Yeah.
There was some really good spots. There's also a spot too where they kind of faked like Sean. They faked like they screwed up, Like I think Sean throws him to the ropes, and then like he looks, and Mankind's supposed to be there for like Sean to do something. He's not there. They were just trying to play on the Sean Vader thing, how he was yelling at Vader. They were just trying to fool. That's what I read, that they were just trying to fool everybody that Sean was still a problem, which he kind of was. I don't understand the point of that spot. Whatever. They didn't tell. I don't think they told the office, excuse me, that they were gonna do that.
Yeah.
But there was some really cool spots in this match, man.
Oh my God.
Sean
Yeah.
fighting a total different style. Sean fighting a more
Yep. You know, they
hardcore
went to the
style.
outside. He rips the mats up.
Yeah.
They go off of there.
Well,
The spot with the
like,
table was amazing.
oh, that was terrific. I also like the Sean went to go to do the super kick, and then Mankind just throws himself out of the ring.
Oh
Like he
yeah,
doesn't even slide out.
the one where he
Sean
went
doesn't get.
jumped off the chair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, not only
and
that, not only that, when Sean was setting him up, and then he's about to do the super kick, and he just throws himself out of
throws
the
himself
ring.
out of the ring. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then of course he does the spot where his neck gets caught up in the
In the
rope.
ropes, in the ropes, yeah.
I was really surprised after Germany that he would
And he
still
would do it
that.
again after his ear. That was the thing that took his ear, right?
They ripped his ear off. Yeah,
Yeah,
in a I believe it was a match against Vader in Germany.
yeah, yeah.
And the fact that he's still doing it is crazy. But this match, and then I remember Vince telling Sean, "Stay down, stay down."
No.
After they went through the table.
Well, he did the same thing when
With Diesel.
With Diesel.
Yeah, just stay down.
Yeah.
But I mean, this match was amazing. Shawn Michaels, he got the win by disqualification because Vader comes down.
But he had him beat though. It was a super kick with the chair, right? He had him beat.
Yeah, yeah, he had the match won, and of course, here comes Vader because their feud is not over with.
Yeah. And it was over, but it wasn't over because they didn't go on. I mean, where did they go with this? Sean doesn't even fight at the next day in your house.
No, because they actually set up the number one contenders match with the guy that comes down next, Sid. So now, yeah, it'll be Sid and Vader. The
Right.
main event at the next, obviously, is Buried Alive.
Well, because they had pivoted. It was. We've told the story in other interviews, but the long story short of it is that Sean didn't get along with Vader, and the office didn't have confidence in him anymore. So they
He said that he couldn't wrestle. He smelled.
He stunk,
blah blah blah. Yeah.
So they pivot. He was also, they say, he's out of shape, which he probably was.
Yeah.
And then they pivot from Vader and Sean to then it's Vader. It's Sean. It's Sean and Sid. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be a number one contenders match.
The match was great. This was a great match. I just didn't like the ending.
Awesome.
I didn't think it was necessary. Yeah. I wanted a definitive winner.
But unfortunately, Mankind with his momentum.
Yeah, I guess
they didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So it made sense to do a run in. Of course, not with these two guys.
Right.
But the best run in after Sid and Vader get out of the ring was the Undertaker pops up out of the casket.
Yeah, he came out of the casket. Yeah.
I'm loving that, and he's beating the crap out of Mankind. And here we go. I mean, this feud between these two, it kind of ends at the end of '96 and '97, but then for whatever reason, in '98 starts up again.
Starts up right again
with the best match they ever had.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we'll get into that when we get to the King of the Ring review. But overall, this was, like you said, this could be made an argument for Sean's best match.
Yeah, it's close.
You guys comment and let us know which one you thought was better, the WrestleMania match or the In Your House for Sean. But I think Sean and Mankind tore the house down on this one.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
This is around the time with Mankind that I started enjoying watching him come
out. His work. Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of him up until this point. That's when I was
not the character. I mean, the Cactus Jack character I loved in WCW. But when he brought this Mankind character, I wasn't sold. But once this match happened, I was.
Yeah. All right. So you guys make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.